Well, have I got a truth bomb for you this week? It's all about a devastating report that has just dropped out of Washington, D.C., with extraordinary new information about the Australian government's effort to censor what you can say and do and think online, and specifically the alleged links between this woman, Julie Inman Grant, Australia's eSafety Commissioner, as she is officially known, or as we call her on Outsiders, the E-Karen, and a shadowy U.S.-based online advertising cabal, which a U.S. House Judiciary Committee interim report says set out to throttle advertising dollars from websites and social media platforms, particularly Elon Musk's Twitter, that dared to allow free speech and conservative ideas to flourish. Now, this cabal was known as the Global Alliance for Responsible Media, or GARM, and they wanted to starve anyone who platformed conservative thought, libertarian thought, and anything that questioned the narrative on topics ranging from COVID to mass migration to all sorts of other things, and drive them out of business.
Well, we said it before and we'll say it again, these guys are not going to stop at age verification. They're not going to stop saying, well, we want to protect the children from the pornography. We want to protect them from the bad anime and gaming. They're not stopping there. They're going to continue on. This was their plan from start. Places like Australia, United Kingdom, you see what's going on. Even here in the U.S., we have the issues that are going on right now. But before we get into this, don't forget to drop a comment, a like, share, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. Remember, interacting with us is the important thing to do. Why? Because YouTube wants to hide us. They want to hide this, especially this information that we're about to discuss today. They want to, they're bending the knee to the situation, but they're going to hide us onto there. They rather put up mainstream media, which basically has spewed a lot of lies out there to you, the general public. We want to discuss these things. We want to sit there and say, hey, listen, let's have a conversation about the problems and issues that are going on during the day. They don't want you to do that. They want you to be controlled one way of thinking. And additionally, if you want to help us, in addition to this, besides interacting with our videos, we do have a merch shop. We have these great censorship t-shirts that are out there. Portions of that will go to help support this channel on both YouTube and Rumble. We're trying to build a bigger and better channel on there. And we need your help. We truly do need your help. There is also a PayPal link also as well if you want to throw a couple bucks, coffee, drinks, pizza, whatever you want to do onto there. You want to throw a couple bucks, we really do appreciate it on there. So thank you, and keep on watching. So I want to give a heads up to, Madam Savvy. If you haven't caught her video or Smash JT, a lot of this stuff they've been uncovering, and they continue to uncover. Stuff that, I kind of fall behind on. There's so much that we're doing here at CutiCast TV. I don't have the crew yet, but it seems like they're able to get in there, get way ahead onto this before it really truly gets worse. On her X account, she mentions this. And this is mostly about, if you don't know who Julie Inman Grant is, she's an ex-American who moved to Australia and is now the Commissioner of eSafety for Australia, who wasn't voted in for it, wasn't elected, was given the job, and she's one of the major problems out there. According to the information we've gotten, she used to work with a group called GARM, which basically Elon Musk took down. that was basically trying to interject into the elections. This is another country trying to interject themselves. Now, whether they were part of the situation or not, you have this woman that is 20 years out of the U.S. wanting to destroy our Constitution. But what Madam Savvy put up, and this is becoming a major issue, and I've said this before, they're not going to stop. The American woman who left us 20 years ago is telling Aussies it won't just stop at ID verification. This is the same woman who praised Garm for proactive censorship against Trump, who shows concern for trust and safety positions being gutted at companies like Meta and X. Trust and safety teams are nothing more than propaganda. Look how many of them are on FOSTA, herself included. Reject this. Reject women pushing censorship over things that they don't like. Men cannot say this without being vilified, so I will. Yes, remember, Madam Savvy is a woman. Women are too emotional and unstable to hold these positions. Poisonous men manipulate them and groom them to do their work. The World Economic Forum baby right here shows it as much. It is women pushing this. Collective Shout is on trial for age verification that just finished, and almost every single one of those women had public meltdowns. Many of them which were because of me, not men, because they need to present me as a man. This is the mental illness to allow it to continue. And that's right. You've heard these situations before. They're not going to stop on this. They call anime pornography. It's not pornography. You have to remember, to this point, and I'll say this once and I'll say it again, there's an anime out there, there's a manga out there for everyone. Whether it's for kids, whether it's for teens, or whether it's for adults. It's the same thing in the movie industry where you have G, PG, PG-13, rated R, and NC-17. Yeah, that's right. What's the difference between that? No, the difference is because they are successful and Hollywood is not. Because basically Hollywood has bent the knee and is pushing this propaganda out that's always been out there for quite some time. We already went through with the Hays Code years ago. SCOTUS found that the Hays Code was unconstitutional and eliminated. That was when the MPAA was born. Now they're trying to do the same things as what the Hays Code is doing. Telling Hollywood, telling directors, telling producers who to hire, what movie to make, how you're going to make it. And the thing about it is that these are awful films. Right now, currently, now I don't have the figures for this past week because we shot this last week, but the week we basically recorded this, Demon Slayer was number 1. Conjuring was number 2. Why? Because they're good films. They were made for a little bit amount of money, and they had no politics to it. They were great films. I mean, by the time this video hits, Demon Slayer should be well under over 500 million worldwide. It should be over 100 million in the U.S. alone. That should tell you something. But yet, in the other case, you have people like Julie Inman that basically want to just close you out. That this has nothing to do with children. They said, well, we're under age 16, then they won't be able to get on the internet. That's wrong. That's totally wrong. It should be up to the parents. And now they want to say, well, we're going to give you a digital ID. You're going to have to digital identify yourself so you'll be able to get on the internet. Bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. I'm getting tired of this. These wannabe Puritans, E-Karens, to the point, especially this woman who is not even an American anymore. She renounced her citizenship. But yet she wants to interact with U.S. politics. Supposedly she's coming here with a couple of other women to speak with some of the tech companies. I hope there are protesters out there that's going to protest against them. I hope the groups come out, find out when they're arriving. And, I don't want violence or anything like that, but let them know with your voices that we don't want this. We don't want them here. Go back home. You want to do it in Australia? That's Australia's government. We have our constitution here. For what you want to do is a violation of the Constitution. And there are those out there that are trying to push other laws. We have other videos coming out about that they want to make porn illegal in one particular state. It's already Twitch is going to be verifying users in the United Kingdom. There's a lot of this that's going on. And it's going to continue until we put a stamp down on this. I know Trump is trying to stop this whole situation to that point, but there's a lot more. We need people in our Congress, our senators, all of our politicians to stand forward and go against this. And it ain't going to be the left that's going to be doing it, and certain groups on the right. They're not going to stand forward on this. So we have to make a bigger stand. Protest against him. Link this out. All these videos, whether it's my video, Madam Savvy, Smash JT, anyone that's talking about this, get this out there. Share this video. Share their videos. Share their X accounts onto there. Let them know we do not want this censorship here. It is censorship. Pure, refined censorship. So drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts about this. I really want to hear about this, especially for those in Australia. To this point, this Miss Grant, that basically, she's taking away your rights. This is what she wants to do. They want to take away your rights. You've seen stuff like this on V for Vendetta, Equilibrium, and many other films. They're going to pick and choose how your kids are going to be educated. They're going to pick and choose what you can watch on TV or on the internet and stuff like that. Do you want that? Do you really, truly want that? If you don't want that, right now, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Comment. Share this video. Like it. It's very important. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next video. Check out Sci-Fi Snobs, Babylon 5 respective, right here on YouTube, 11 p.m. Eastern, Top Lofty Lounge, Sunday night on the Snob channel, and that's 11 p.m. Eastern as well. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.